Hello everyone, I'm Rishanthi Pattiarachchi, Division C Director for this year. Today with me, I have the winners of Division C English contest that took place a week ago on February 3rd, 2024. We have 4 individuals who came from the club level to the area level and competed at the division level in the international speech contest and the table topics category. Welcome everyone. We have Tommy Tan from the Bank of Canada Club, and we have Advait Tiwari from 90 Elgin Club, Julie Lorenzo from Transport Canada Club, and Stephen Malsevic from Good Morning Ottawa Toastmasters. Thanks again for joining us. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Of course, we are very proud of you. Congratulations once again. And 2 of you will be joining at the district level in April. That's Tommy Tan under the international speech category and Advait Tiwari in the table topics category. They both placed at the top place, which is first place in those respective categories. Okay, without further ado, let's start our conversation. Maybe for the benefit of our Division C Toastmasters, I would like to know briefly what brought you to Toastmasters and what keeps you in Toastmasters. Maybe let's start with Advait and then let's go around the table. Advait, would you like to share your story briefly with us?
Well, Rishanthi, first of all, thank you so much for volunteering with Toastmasters and dedicating your time for organizing the competition, for organizing the interview. All of this is significant time commitment. Thank you again for that. Going to your question, I first joined Toastmasters about 12 years ago at the behest of my director at the time. She used to be a Toastmasters member of 90 Elgin. And she said Toastmasters is a great venue for improving verbal communication skills. And I did Toastmasters for maybe a couple of years at 90 Elgin between 2012 and 2014. Dates are approximate. And then I stopped doing it mainly because I had kids and because of family reasons. There was the pandemic in there. And then I recently started Toastmasters about a year and a half ago for the same reasons, to improve verbal communication skills, because this is such an important part of my job.
Yeah, so you are a returning Toastmaster, so then of course you understand the value of Toastmasters. Stephen,
It's very valuable.
yeah, it's very, very valuable. Stephen, what is your experience?
When I first was introduced to Toastmasters, I'd seen some posters up about it at work. And then I decided to check out a couple of guest meetings, partly to improve upon my communication skills, because it was something I thought I was strong in when I was younger, but didn't really practice them so much anymore, but also meet more people at work. And it was a great club to start at, because there are other people I got to meet to work on my skills, and we didn't talk about work-related issues. So I thought that was a great beginning into Toastmasters, and lots of opportunity to practice public speaking, some leadership skills and evaluation skills, all things that I continue through today. I guess that I started all that around 2016, and then I've switched clubs just because I changed jobs and moved to a new location, but still continue. And I've been, a Toastmaster for about, ever since. So a number of years. Keep coming back.
Great. Julie, how about you?
Well, I first heard of Toastmasters more than 10 years ago, and I was encouraged to get into Toastmasters as people that I spoke with find it very, very fulfilling and provided lots of growth, but I never did make the step into joining Toastmasters. However, when the pandemic hit, I felt like I wasn't communicating enough, and I actually thought I could be losing my speaking skills. So I thought, well, I need something. And then a friend suggested I join Toastmasters. So I joined in February 2021, so it's pretty new for me. But I enjoy every time, and yeah, I'm a dedicated member of my club.
Tom, can you please share your story? I've heard it many times before, but the audience would like to know.
So you can close your ears then if you heard it so many times. Wow. I joined Toastmaster by accident because I was driving my son to all his competitive sports for years, for many years, and he was into competitive soccer, competitive badminton, and then also the branch of this soccer called futsal. I don't know you guys familiar or not. It's a soccer play in the gym, but with a heavier size of ball, and it's really fun. And I was driving him. I was spending a lot of time with him, and then right after he graduated from high school, and my wife was really worried that, what are you going to do, Tom? You're going to drive me crazy because then you get you have all these times in your hand. What are you going to do? And so the next thing you know, she found this Canada Toastmaster Club, and then she said, you know what? You always want to learn how to speak properly, how to improve your communication skill. Here's the one you should go and join. I never even thought twice about it. So I signed up. Then the first time I went to this club, Canada Toastmaster Club, is they're still meeting on Thursday night, but they're right now at a different location. And I first met Gina Cook. I was hooked, and that was September 2016.
Wow, that's a long time. And of course, we have people who positively influence our life. So your wife has positively influenced you, and you are influencing our community.
Yes.
So that's the spiral effect of these Toastmaster journeys. So okay, so you all understand the value of Toastmasters, and that's exactly why you go and come back and return and still stay with us. How about the contests? When did you first learn about contest, and is there someone who encouraged you to compete in the international speech contest or the table topics contest? I'll again start with Advait, and let's hear from others as well.
Thank you, Rishanthi. The first time I heard about this contest was at my club. Zach Pishar, who is a fantastic member of the club, always very encouraging and supportive. He shared the information with all members, and he spelled out the criteria. Somewhat shockingly, I met them, and therefore I said, why not? I'll sign up. And that was it. I said, I'll sign up for both the speech and table topics at the club level.
Yeah, and I think Zach was in the audience when you won the first
Yes,
place
he
in
was.
table topics, and also you are the second place winner in the international speech contest. So we have these people in our community who are encouraging others and who are letting others shine. Stephen, how was your experience? How did you learn about the contest, and is there anyone else behind you who encouraged you to compete as well?
Well, I think I found out about the contest at the club level, and I knew about contests before from my experience before, and I did compete back, I think, in 2018 and 2019, 1 year, I guess, doing the speech contest, and then another year doing speech evaluation. I'm sure, and then when I volunteered to do both table topics and the speech contest, my club was behind me. But more than that, what I felt I gained was improvements along the way. So I would get bits of feedback every time I went to gave my speech to help me develop it for the division level contest. So I would say, in addition to the encouragement I got or support from going into the contest, but also just the feedback and help I got along the way helped too.
Yeah, you saw the growth you made over the years. Tom, would you like to share your experience? How did you start competing?
Oh, oh, again, Gina was my mentor from the very the first month I joined the Toastmasters. I don't know why, and she saw something special in me probably. Anyway, she encouraged me. She said, "Well, we have this speech contest. Would you like to join?" So I thought, oh, I thought I was a pretty good speaker then. I thought, oh, maybe I could join. I didn't know anything about speaking, about vocal variety. Looking back, it was so funny. And it was my first contest was this humor contest at the area contest. I thought I did really well. I was so proud of it. And then after that, Gina came to me. She said, "You know what, Tom? You need to tone it down a little bit. That was really bad." So I was pretty ticked then. I thought I was pretty good. And then the ego got to me a little bit. That as I learned more and more about the crafting of the speech, the humor, the delivery, and then I watched many hours of all the world champion, and then I got to work with some of them over the years. I joined their clubs, and then looking back, it was pretty bad. And then I learned a lot since then. And right now, I'm at a point that whenever I watch a speech, I could right away. There are 4 or 5 critical moments of each piece, and well, I could find, okay, this is the area that how you could improve, how you could work on it. So I'm a different level right now. It really humbles me, and it makes me a better person.
Exactly. So through our journey, we are not just improving our public speaking skills, we improve ourselves as people too, right? There's a personal growth, and that's what fascinates me as well. How about you, Julie?
Well, I joined Toastmasters in February 2021, and February is contest season. And the mentor I was assigned to was actually participating in the contest. And I was like, oh, interesting. So I asked questions. And of course, if you start talking about contests, you're always, encouraged to participate. And then these 2 years in a row, last year I participated in the French speaking contest. And this year I participated in the speech and table topics. I made it to the division level with the table topics. However, I'm also registered to the French speech and table topic contest. And every time it's feedback that I got after doing a speech in my club, and the evaluator saying, this is contest material. And I was like, okay, well, let's roll with it. And from my life, I know that, when you're doing competition and contest, it's always a great way to improve yourself. It pushes you beyond what you think you're capable of. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I'd like to do that. And I'm doing it. So it's a great experience. I encourage everybody to do it.
Yeah, I think, Julie, you are the only contestant at the division level who competed in 3 contests. You were in English table topics, and you were also competing at the French international speech, sorry, not international, it's the division level contest, French speech contest, and also table topics contest. So this shows your enthusiasm to improve yourself, and it seems like you are hooked into the contest mode. That's really good to hear. Advait, I understand that you have to leave a little bit early. So before you leave, I would like to ask from you, what is the advice you would like to give to our new Toastmasters who just joined Toastmasters and just thinking about how can I compete next year, or should I compete next year? What is your advice to them?
My advice to them would be to present many speeches at the club level because that is very good practice. And giving a speech is really not that hard because you can do table topic, which is 2 minutes of speaking off the cuff. And a speech is between 5 and 7 minutes. And you can think during the week, here are the 3 things I want to talk about. You get 5 or 6 speeches in, and then provided you meet the eligibility criteria, I can't remember them, but start competing and just enjoy. That is something I really appreciated from the Toastmasters team when they said the most important thing is to have fun. I had no stress about the competition. My expectations were very low. That's the philosophy of my life. And I competed with very little preparation, but I said, I'm doing this for fun.
Exactly. So we are adults, we have other lives outside of Toastmasters. So if we don't enjoy what we do, we may not looking at a long-term commitment. And if we don't enjoy, we don't learn either. So that's a good message to our new Toastmasters. Do it for the fun of doing it. As you make fun and as you get more confidence, you are gradually become a competent communicator. All right. So next, I would like to learn from others a little bit more about your speaking journey as a contestant. It seems like, Julie, is this your first time competing? Did you compete last year as well, or this is the first time?
No, I competed the last year in the French speaking contest.
Okay, good. But for Tom, I know you've been competing for several years. And Stephen, my understanding is that you have competed before too, right? Yeah, so now that from one year to the other, you bring some kind of skill sets that you developed before the last round. And when you are preparing for a contest, again, for the benefit of our Toastmasters who are watching this video, how do you start the process? How do you pick a topic? And then what kind of practice session that you would be doing? Advait mentioned that he would like to do as many speeches as possible at the club level, and you may have found some ways that work for you that could be beneficial to others too. So I would like to learn from you, how do you approach preparing for a contest? Let's start with Stephen and then let's go to the others.
Great. So I would like to, it depends on the contest, how I'd like to prepare. So some of them, with our district, we alternate between table topics and the speech evaluation contest. Those are more impromptu contests, but you can still practice throughout the year by participating in table topics, by getting used to being asked questions on the spot. For speech evaluations, give feedback as much as you can, even sometimes if you sign up for general evaluator, because it'll help you structure your responses to give constructive feedback. So for either of those contests, that's what I try to, how I prepare for. And if I want to do them, sign up for that role as much as you like. And the same for speeches. I said, well, first, and what part of my practice was get, for lack of a better term, get a little greedy. So if there was an open spot open, I got in a meeting at my club, at another club, we even practiced at our executive meeting, like I'm going to give my speech so you can hear it, but also get more feedback behind it. So it is a case of what we're saying, practice does make perfect. In terms of prep, I like what what we've all been saying. Make sure you're having fun. Enjoy going through the whole contest experience, and through it, I've been lucky enough to get encouragement from my own club members about what went really well, some things to think about for next time as well. And in terms of picking a speech topic, I found the story that I gave, I really resonated with it, not only just like how it was delivered, but also the message that I wanted to give as well. I would say pick something that you really like to end. It doesn't have to be, when you're starting to plan a speech, I find it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be what's in one sentence, what's the message you want to give, and build from that. Or am I like the storytelling aspect? So if there's a story that you recently from your childhood or wherever that you want to tailor to make forward. So in terms of prep, I would say to summarize it, and practice as much, but also enjoy the journey along the way. And when it comes to picking a speech topic, pick one that deliver it at your speech and get some feedback. If your club likes it, I'm sure other people will like it too, and it'll help you in the contest. So that's what I would say in terms of just go, because you'll grow a lot through it as well.
Yeah, those are the two main values in Toastmasters, being a Toastmaster, right? So they say that according to research, we need to practice consistently to develop a skill. We have that in Toastmasters. We meet at least once a week or maybe twice a month, whenever we have some frequency. So we are consistently practicing. And then we receive good feedback. That's the other part in developing a new skill. And we get that in Toastmasters as well. That's why I always say Toastmasters is the cheapest, safest, and most effective adult learning in public speaking and leadership. Tom, what is your experience? I know over the years you have developed some world-class training schedules into your practice sessions, and we can see, at least I can say, maybe you are not aware, I was a member of a Toastmasters club with Tom, and I saw his gradual progression over the years, and I see how he improved from year to year, and that will be really helpful for others to learn too. And Tom, is someone who really take this seriously. And when he learned something, he was always happy to share it with us in the club too.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Rishanthi. In terms of experience, I could talk hours into how how I've developed all this different methodology or best practices I learned as I travel for all different clubs, and at the same time is how I could incorporate it, customize it to my own needs, to my own personality. The thing that with that is we all have to be aware one thing that is we all are different. One thing that we've just said, we all are different. How Edward, how Stephen, how Julie deliver or present your story. We all have different ways of present or different ways of experiencing. One thing in terms of picking a story, right now I'm become more and more aware in terms of my own personal journey on a daily basis, what I experience it. And just give you an example is my sister right now is having difficulties in terms of her relationship with my aunt. My aunt just passed away recently. Just this is just a personal story, very very emotional personal journey, and it looks like she might have to take care of her for a long time. So I just visited her on a Chinese New Year, and my sister and I spent some time. We walk on St. Catherine. If any of you familiar with Montreal area, St. Catherine is probably is downtown. So we went for a long walk yesterday. It was a beautiful day, and she shared with me some of her journey and some experience, bad or good. So I just took some notes in the personal things, and that itself, I just listened, and then eventually I know something coming out of that is going to turn into some beautiful story that I would love to share with the world. Something like that you got making sure you heighten with the awareness. The thing that with that is, as soon as you have a story that you want to share, right off the bat, from a raw format perspective, you could just deliver it unscripted. This is what I did with my very first speech that I delivered, called Mama's Words. It was not even a Mama's Word then. I don't even remember what I called it. I delivered it to a club in Sudbury, Ontario. Raw, no, just scripted and some high level, high outline, high level. I delivered, and then as soon as I delivered online, I noticed about 7 people were in the audience. Then I think 7 or 10, more than 50%. I know for sure they were all in tears. Right after I finished my presentation, then I told myself, "Whoa, that was real." Then I started thinking, wow, I have to start developing this story. That was my beginning of my journey. I think this is something that you all can think about, right? Your experience, like something that is hurting you, something that, or maybe making you really, really happy, anything. Just deliver it. Don't think about it. Just deliver it at using anything that you can think, outline it in your head. Just say 3-4 point, and making sure that you remember call for action. If you can do that and have a major impact, then you have something in your story. Then you could start developing it. Then I start my journey. So that's the beauty part of that, right? With Toastmaster clubs, I started talking too long. Then I'm going to take away your time, Edward. Tell me if you need me to stop. Then once I start learning that, then I take my speech step by step. I travel to all the clubs. I can't do that. This is probably my last year doing that, and next year they're going to be going back. A lot of them going back to in person. And I if I have time, I book some time with different clubs. I travel to the States, to Europe, and just get some feedback. And one thing I learned it from all this journey, and I call it a Chinese expression, really thick skin. Just learn to accept whatever they come at you in terms of the evaluation. And I learned over the years that I learned how to filter things out that it makes sense to me or it doesn't make sense to them. One thing that I can't stand it, because right now I can rant on it, because some of the clubs that I travel, right off the bat, before they even start the evaluation, I know the English is your first language. I can appreciate your accent. What does that mean? Then I know coming out of the evaluation is not going to help me right away. So then I started, okay, I listen. And I said, thank you very much for your time. There's still going to be people like that. I even, in one of my evaluation, I was in Atlanta, one of the club, the little note that the one of the evaluator wrote, and then sent it out to the Toastmaster. He said, there is no way you're going to go anywhere with your accent. It's okay. Right? So I think those are the kind of things that it help you. It really make you a better person. And then all those things that they say, then you make sure that you don't transfer that experience to anybody. Whenever I evaluate something, I always make sure that I don't hurt anybody, especially their feeling. I make sure that I pay attention, and I always encourage there's always opportunity to grow. So that's my journey.
Yes, the most important thing that I would like to draw from Tom's experience is that you will get feedback from people who will do everything with good intentions to help you. But at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your speech. You need to make some decisions as to what would work for you best, right? So those are all learning experiences. As we said, it's not just about public speaking that we learn. We learn about us, how to tame our ego, how to get the best benefit of our experiences, and how we can get benefit from every encounter we have. All these things we learn through competing. Julie, how is your preparation work?
Well, I would say just like Adwait, it's just doing speeches and exploring, because with Toastmasters, you have a chance to explore different styles, humorous, inspiring speeches and everything. And for me, last year and this year, it was the same thing. It's somebody that came back, a few people that came back saying, this is contest material. Oh, why not participate? What was really exciting this year for our club is that we had actually 2 people doing the English speech contest, me and another colleague, and we were 3 doing the table topics contest at the club level. And I found that so inspiring because my colleague won at the club level for the speech contest. And I was like, oh, she really has things interesting in her speech. I want to add to mine. And so it helps me for the French speaking contest because I'm adding on. And then I'm going to the area, and then I'm going to the division. And we had wonderful speakers at the division level with Tommy, Stephen, and Adwait. And I'm learning from that. And it's great to have more people participating because of that, because you see what others are doing, how they're approaching it, and how they're doing their speech. And that's where it becomes really interesting in helping you develop yourself, because it's how you're going to make yourself a better speaker. And yeah, so I really enjoy having more people doing contests because of that, because it's the way we can improve ourselves so much better.
Exactly. Well said. Yeah, so we discussed many things, but maybe for the benefit of our audience, there are 2 things that you need to know if you plan to participate in the speech contest, in the international speech contest. First of all, you need to complete 2 levels in your pathways. This means you need to have some kind of preparation before the time comes next year. If you are someone who is interested in doing the speech contest, please start in your pathways, as our contestants just alluded to. As you move on from one project to the other, you get feedback and you learn from others that will prepare you to be eligible to participate in the international speech contest. Thank you so much for your time. Of course, there's a learning, and at the same time, you spend a lot of your private time in competing, and now you are sharing 1 hour of your time with me to share your messages with our fellow Toastmasters in Division C. Tom, you will be competing at the International Speech Contest at the district level, and on behalf of all Division C members, I wish you good luck with your... And Julie, you will be competing at the French speech contest at the district level. And of course, as I said before, on behalf of Division C members, I wish you good luck with your experience at the district level. And Stephen, I really loved your speech about the fish and the way you presented it. I'm sure you will come back next year. And you competed in both contests, and that's the most important thing. It seems like you are enjoying the process and you enjoy sharing your stories. We all learn by listening to each other. Once again, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experiences. And my dear fellow Toastmasters in Division C, we would like to hear your story next year as well. And we are there to cheer on you as you make progress through the club level, to the area level, and then to the division level. Thanks again for joining us.